if you wouldn't mind just starting off with where you're from, your name and your division, please.
My name is Furkat Bek. I'm from Uzbekistan, but right now I live Dubai.
Okay.
I fight for 125.
Nice. Can you talk to me about the moment you found out you were going to be on this show and what your emotions were like?
You know, it's emotion. It's very well. You know, it's we wait this long time, and then it's. I understand. You know, I'm very close for my dream. That moment, I cannot spell because that moment, you know, only you feel when you the inside. But you know, I know one thing: I'm very close for my dream.
I think some guys, when they get the call to be on The Ultimate Fighter, they almost think, oh, I've made it already. Do you feel like, no, you're very close, but now is the really important part?
Yeah, of course, of course. Just I don't want to just only go to on the show. I want to win the show and then go to UFC and then take the belt to UFC. That's why I don't want to just only go there and then for the history, okay, these guys fight there. No, I want when they heal my name, people need to be, these guys become champion. I want to do like this.
You're about to be locked in a house with a bunch of men. Talk to me about what's the thing you're least looking forward to about being trapped in this Ultimate Fighter house.
I don't know, you know, we will see. We moved about the situation. I can say this one, if you're good, good. If you're bad, bad. Just we know when we go to house.
Before you got here, were you a Daniil Cormier fan or a Chael Sonnen fan?
You know, it's I can give you the both of the respect. I can watch the both of fight, you know, and then I don't know. It's normally, you know, I'm not that too much with the heavyweight division. Yeah, but yeah, both of is legend, you know, both of is good.
Good luck in the show.
What do you anticipate the coaching styles to be like between Chael and DC? Both of them have very big, strong personalities. What do you think that their coaching styles might come out to?
Yeah, for me, I think it's that's important, like a new level for me. Automatically, new coach, and then I can learn something. But and then about Cormier, I think it's more we can learn the wrestling. Like of course, he's like a high-level wrestler. And then about Chael, I think we more like a dog fight, you know, like a mental fight, like just old school style, like exchange. I think it's both of is close for me, but dog fight also for me it's much closer.
Who do you think is going to do better in the coaches' challenges?
I don't know. We see this one in the end. Who's the champion, and then which team, and then we can say, okay, that team is best.
And last for me, I know you knew that you were going to come onto this show, you know, and I know you have to say goodbyes to the family, but going into the house, what do you think is the toughest challenge going to be for you being away from the family and dealing with this? Fighting's one thing in the fight preparation, but what do you think the toughest challenge outside of fighting is going to be in this process?
Yeah, that's exactly good question. You know, it's worst one for me, like a hardest one. Even from now, I start to feel, but I cannot talk about my daughter. You know, she's almost 3 years, and then every day I'm with her, and then we play, and then you know you need to feel okay now more than 1 month without her, and then that is hard one. But fight is I think is easy to close the cage, that's fight, and then the easy. But outside the fight, that's thinking about the daughter family, that is hardest part.
That's got to be a good motivation though as well, because you're fighting for somebody.
Yeah, of course. I do all of for every time with my family. That's it. That's why I say every time family first.
Best of luck in the house.
Доброе утро. Во-первых, приятно вас здесь видеть. Несколько вопросов. Твое имя, твое прозвище «Железный человек», как написано из-за пластины в голове, лице. Насколько это мешает или не мешает?
Здравствуйте. Пластина никак не мешает, это точно. Даже наоборот, доктора говорили, когда перед тем, как операцию делали, наоборот, лицо станет еще сильнее. Он как бы еще попрочнее станет, кость. Из-за этого, после этого уже никнейм дали как «Железный человек».
То есть это даже преимущество, можно сказать, твое?
Ну да, как бы, как скажем, да, могу с лобом вот так удар держать.
Смотри, многие мусульманские бойцы не любят выступать в Рамадан. Например, все дагестанские ребята, Шавкат Рахмонов не дерется никогда в марте. The Ultimate Fighter будет исключительно в марте сниматься. Да. Насколько для тебя тяжело далось это решение? Насколько ты будешь соблюдать пост? И насколько тяжело тебе будет в марте на съемках?
Да, если честно, вот один из самых тяжелых моментов было, когда мы контракт подписывали и знали, что идем на эту дату. И просто мы пообщались со взрослыми и людьми, которые это же наша работа, мы сколько лет сюда шли. И мы плюс сафари, это как бы, когда мы за рубежом, у нас есть, это не момент, который, типа, ты можешь пропускать, не, как бы у нас есть чуть-чуть привилегии там. И тот момент мы так запланировали, что будем поститься в выходных, и плюс сколько дней пропустим, и сразу после Рамадана и добавим эту тему.
Здесь еще написано, что ты английский учил самостоятельно. Он у тебя довольно хороший. Как так получилось? Это общение просто или твои путешествия?
Да, там с 2014 года, получается, мы в Таиланде жили, потом в Китае, потом в Дубае, получается, и везде же там по-любому на английском общаются, тренера на английском общаются, и там по чуть-чуть, и там по чуть-чуть, и вот так, и Google помогал, и вот так, нигде не учились, никакого репетитора, и даже в школе у нас особо английского не было, и вот так по ходу дела научились.
Ян Машада Гэри тоже часто путешествует, и он говорит, что ему нравится бывать в разных странах, потому что из каждой страны он берет что-то свое из местных школ единоборств. У тебя та же история?
Истории как бы много, и нам тоже как бы нравится. Один из самых моментов история, вот это у меня получилось уже в Дубае, где я лицо сломал. Орбитальная кость. И это и есть история. Как бы во время тренировки просто так на ровном месте с головой ударили. И это, думаю, самая нормальная история для меня.
И последний вопрос. Flyweight считается в UFC самым непопулярным среди мужчин. Но, по твоему мнению, что должно произойти, чтобы эти бои в легчайшем весе снова стали интересными и привлекали больше пользователей, больше болельщиков?
Да, вот именно тот человек здесь появился, иншалла, вот увидите, просто нокауты. Чем больше нокаутов будем делать, тем больше люди будут смотреть. И у меня резюме тоже за это, 10 нокаутов в первом раунде, 10 досрочных побед. Так что это тоже уже немало.
То есть вам тоже начинать волноваться?
Конечно, зачем приходить тогда?
Спасибо, удачи в проекте.
Hello. Could you start off by talking about your name and where you're from?
My name is Roy Echeverria. I'm from Venezuela. I represent Miami and the Goat Shed Academy.
Cool. I mean, talk to us, if you can, about how exciting it is to go on The Ultimate Fighter.
I'm sorry?
How exciting is this to go on The Ultimate Fighter?
I mean, it's a unique experience. I don't think that too many fighters have the opportunity to be on a show like that and the toughest show in the planet, regardless of what type of show is it. And this is definitely an amazing experience and once time in a life.
Are you looking at this like a reality show that's an opportunity for you to show fans who you are, or are you looking at this like a tournament that I have to beat this guy, and beat this guy?
No, I'm looking this opportunity to cement myself in the history as a fighter and as a athlete, as a person. I'm gonna have a message really clear that you guys gonna see on the show, of what this show is about and what you could do after if you do really good in the show.
I know that you've seen some of the other guys that you're going into the house with. Have you already started picking about who this guy might be tough, this guy has easy work? Have you started your thinks already?
Yeah, I mean, I would lie if I say not. I mean, but I would think that all the fighters that are here in the house, in my division and in the other division, are one of the best prospects in the world that haven't signed to the UFC. So I wouldn't think, oh, this is an easy match or this is a hard match. I would think that we all have the skills to be a UFC fighter and a potential champions.
Best of luck.
Can you talk about competing on the Contender Series, right? Big fight, you end up losing. You go back to the regional scene, pick up some wins, and then you become a champion in your last fight.
Yes, I mean, I think that what happened in the Contender Series, it was an experience that I needed at the moment. I feel like it was meant to be. It's just I'm really a believer of God's purpose and God's plan, and that was His plan. I respected it, and that's who brought me today to who I am and who put me on the spot that I am right now. So I feel like it was just a lot of experience, a lot of learning. It makes me evolve as an athlete, as a person, and I'm definitely a new person today. That person in 2022 is it's cemented. Like I beat that guy, meaning myself, now with my eyes closed,
So do you kind of see it as like maybe if you would have got that contract in 2022, maybe it would not have gone so good in the UFC, and you would have not done and not going to been out?
Could it be? I mean, I feel like at the moment I wasn't mature enough, probably as an athlete, but more likely mentally. I wasn't as mature as I am right now to be on the stage that I want to be. It could be probably a big rush. That's what it was at the moment. I was undefeated. I was thinking that I have the guts, but those are the lessons that we learn,
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Manel.
What do you envision the coaching styles of Chael and DC to be like out there? Both of them have great storied careers themselves, but what do you envision that their coaching styles might be like?
I mean, from the camp that DC is coming, aka it's a really tough camp. So I would think that his camp will be really exigent. It will ask you for a lot. Like it will be really physical, and I don't know how be like if they're smart or not or like technical, but I know they will be going hard. Sonnen is a guy that's an old school guy. It's a legend also in the sport. He's coming from Team Quest, one of the best teams in MMA in the world too, back then. So they both have really good background. So I would just make them. It will be a tough camps against each other, different styles definitely, but it will be a good matchup on styles.
Which of the two is funnier, and do you think that would make training more enjoyable?
Which of them two?
Which of those two is the funnier of the coaches, and who's going to make the training day at the end of the day a little bit more bearable?
Personality-wise, I would say Cormier he looks like a funny guy, but I mean, Chael Sonnen is a character too. He's a personality, so I'm looking forward to both of them and being either team. I know I will enjoy and I will adapt however it takes.
And last question for me. I know you've been waiting to get into the house and start going at it, but now you know you're going to be away from your family, your friends, and everything. What's the toughest challenge that you think is going to be inside the house, and how have you prepared yourself for that?
Besides doesn't having my phone, no, I'm just kidding. But I feel like just my family, my wife and my son. I just have a son. This is a first experience that I'm living without my son for so long, and I think it just be more like that, more mental battle will be like, oh, missing the family, other than that. Because the other things now, when you start getting isolated, is when you start realizing that, wow, this really matters more than your actual phone or your social medias or all this, you know what I mean? So I feel like my family will be the biggest challenge, but at the same time will be my same motivation. It will be my fuel to keep doing what I need to do and improve the world.
And at the end of the competition, everybody wants to get a contract, but what else are you hoping to get out of this experience?
Man, I'm really looking forward to all the experience that I can learn from both coaches, and and the team, the personalities. There's a lot of cultures here. There's a lot of countries involved, and I'm open minded to learn everything that I can and be a sponge. You know, absorb whatever I can and come out of the show as a better person, as a better athlete, and ready to do the next step.
Best of luck in there.
Thank you.
Ready, Kenny? Hi, can you start out by telling everybody who you are, your weight class, and where you come from?
Можешь сказать, пожалуйста, откуда ты, твой вес, твоя категория и все?
Я родом Казахстана, я выступаю 57 килограмм. Меня зовут Алибек.
Hi, my name is Alibek Idris. I'm a 57 kilogram and I'm from Kazakhstan.
How excited are you to be on this TV show?
Как ты себя чувствуешь, оказавшись в этом шоу?
Чувствую себя отлично. Это моя мечта здесь оказаться.
I'm super excited. I feel amazing. It's my dream to be here.
Is there anything that you're not looking forward to being stuck in a house with a bunch of other fighters?
What is that? One more time?
Is there anything that he's not looking forward to being stuck inside of a house with a bunch of other fighters?
Есть что-то, над чем ты не хочешь зацикливаться, потому что там много бойцов дома, имеется в виду, домой, куда вы переедете?
Я думаю, у меня все нормально, все комфортно. Я знаю, к чему иду. У меня есть цель, которую я ставил, я иду к нему. И все. Остальное мне не мешает, ничего не напрягает даже.
I feel pretty comfortable since I have a goals to reach, so yes.
Good luck.
Желаю тебе удачи.
Thank you.
What do you think of the different coaching styles? I'm sure everybody knows DC for his champion run, but then you have Chael and his exciting fights. What do you think about the different coaching styles and what you guys might experience being trained by them?
Что ты думаешь о различии стилей судей? Все знают то, что Daniil, Cormier, все знают Chael Sonnen. Что ты думаешь о различии их стилей и что будет на шоу? Да.
Я уважаю двух тренеров, это легенды этого спорта, UFC, но более к борьбе, я думаю, DC опыта много, и Chael Sonnen тоже давно здесь. Я думаю, это будет два таких хороших тренеров в этом сезоне.
I really like, if you go with the wrestle, I would go with the DC because everybody knows he's a wrestler. And Chael Sonnen being here for a very long time, being as a legend and has a huge experience. So I think it's going to be pretty nice mix-up.
And I'm sure you've thought, I don't know if you've watched the show before, but what do you envision the biggest challenge that you might find for yourself in there? Is it just the training? Is it the multiple fights? Or is it the time away from the family? What do you think the biggest challenge of the show will be for you?
Я думаю, ты смотрел шоу до этого, предыдущие сезоны. Что будет самым большим челленджем для тебя? Это время рознь от семьи? Или из-за того, что боев будет несколько, или из-за того, что народу много? Ну просто скажи, что ты думаешь?
Я думаю, что больше мне... Не сказал бы, что волнует. Мы будем скучать по семье. Остальное все ерунда. Мы готовы к бою.
I think the hardest part is being apart from a family and not having them in a connect, but from the rest is fine. I'm really comfortable.
And last question, I'm sure everybody at the end wants to win and be the ultimate fighter, but what else are you hoping to gain out of this experience?
Последний вопрос. Мы знаем то, что все хотят выиграть эти матчи и попасть в UFC. Но кроме этого, что ты хочешь еще? Что ты думаешь, что ты можешь взять с этого шоу?
У меня, я ранее сказал, у меня давно мечта была стать первым казахом Ultimate Fighter и выиграть, и дать всем молодежям, казахстанским братьям, всем людям, что это все возможно, что простой парень с аула, с вахты, с работы добился чего-то. Вот это моя мечта.
So besides winning the TUF, the Ultimate Fighter, and becoming the UFC fighter, my main goal was to become the first guy from Kazakhstan who was the Ultimate Fighter, who made it to Ultimate Fighter, and definitely win it. And I want to prove to our young generation that just a random simple guy from the small village who used to work in the construction made it, so you can make it as well.
Thank you.
Салямет Сезбе Риби. Продолжая тему вахты, здесь написано, да, что ты бросил какую-то работу конструктором ради ММА. Можешь рассказать об этом подробнее? Что была за работа и тяжело ли было принимать такое решение?
Я работал, когда мне 22 года было, 3 года работал я на вахте электриком до 25. Я все время мечтал выступать в лигах, больших лигах, поднять страну, флаг страны. И когда мне было 25 лет, я уже решил, я поговорил с мамой, с папой, я должен переехать в город и там начинать свою профессиональную карьеру. И по сей день я 5 лет прошел, я 10 боев выиграл, и родителям доказал, что я чего-то смогу. Это когда было мне 25 лет, это был такой переломный, волнительный, который я пошел на все, на риски. И получается, я уже здесь, я в ТАФе.
Но вот по поводу твоего рекорда 10-0 в январе 2024 года ты говорил, что твоя цель — это UFC в 2025 году. TUF — это все-таки немножечко не UFC, но ты доволен такой возможностью? Или все-таки ты хотел подписать контракт напрямую или через претендентскую серию?
Да, все говорят, что это будет такой сложный путь попасть в UFC, потому что по 2, по 3 боя даешь. Но в моей жизни всегда было трудности. Я люблю это давление. Конечно, хорошо было бы попасть напрямую, но это для меня тоже большая возможность, потому что я ранее сказал, что я первый казах, который выступает в реалити-шоу TUF.
Съемки закончатся только в марте, то есть большая часть проекта придется на месяц Рамадан. И многие мусульманские бойцы, например, Шавкат Рахмонов, в марте предпочитают не драться. Насколько тяжело для тебя принималось решение о том, чтобы драться в марте?
Да, когда я, иншаллах, стану каким-то известным бойцом, я тогда буду ставить свои условия. А здесь, получается, я должен играть в эту игру. И какой-то момент мы обсудили с братьями, то, что я в сафари, поэтому я откладываю 10 дней Рамадан. Конечно, не хотелось бы такой праздничный месяц. Для мусульман это важный праздник, Рамадан. Сколько лет уже этот праздник отмечаем. Для меня трудно, но мы шли к этому, мы это осознавали, мы это знали. Если бы мой выбор, я бы не дрался этот месяц. Ситуации такие, иншаллах, в дальнейшем стараемся не подраться в Рамадан.
И последний вопрос. Flyweight в UFC традиционно считается самым непопулярным дивизионом у мужчин. Что нужно сделать для того, чтобы сделать его, скажем так, более привлекательным для болельщиков?
Да, все говорят, что flyweight это, типа, скучно. Ну, не сказал бы, что скучно. Иншаллах, я попаду, я покажу, что казахи умеют делать шоу. Мы сперва не любим говорить, мы сперва любим драться, потом говорить. И мы стараемся, чтобы всем публикам понравится разговаривать на английском и драться, показать шоу.
Рахмет.
Спасибо.
Хорошего, удачи.
Like that. Could you start off by telling us your name and where you're from?
My name is Tumelo Manyamala, and I'm from Cape Town, South Africa.
Talk to me about the emotions you feel when they call you and say, hey, you're on the show, you're going to Vegas.
All I felt was excitement and the feeling of this is my destiny to be here. And yeah, I've dreamed of this for a very long time. I watched TUF back in the day, you know, almost all the seasons, and I always imagined myself being in this kind of scenario. So for it to be confirmed and actually happening is just, it's unreal.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who get called up and they get fights in the UFC, but, you know, the list of guys who go through the Ultimate Fighter house is smaller, right? Do you feel sort of privileged that you get to be one of those guys that, okay, it's going to stink being in the house with a bunch of dudes, but you get to go through this journey?
Definitely, definitely. As my coach said, this is the show that kind of made the UFC. So it's an absolute privilege to go through the TUF house, and to do it on the 20th anniversary is, you know, it's amazing.
And, you know, South Africa is kind of in vogue at the moment in MMA with Rodrigo Sezinando. How cool is it to represent that country? And then UFC Africa supposedly on the horizon. I'm sure that would be something you'd love to do.
I mean, to be part of South African MMA in the UFC is crazy, you know. Dricus being the first South African champ, I hope to be the second and go down in South African MMA history books.
Talk to me a little bit about the coaching styles and what you envision the difference between Chael and DC when it gets into you guys start training.
Coaching styles. I know DC has a lot more coaching experience from what I've seen. They're both wrestlers, which is nice. You know, I come from a kickboxing background, so the grappling experience from the two of them would be truly unreal. So whatever team I'm on, I know I'll be happy. And yeah.
And if those guys ever scrapped, who comes out with their hands up?
DC and Chael.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna get me.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
It's gonna be a draw.
Good answer. Good answer. You know, I'm sure you've thought about coming into this. Like you said, the show means a lot, and it's got a very storied history. But there's also challenges, you know, inside the house. What do you envision that maybe the toughest challenge that you haven't thought of that might show up inside the house? Is it just purely time away from family? Is it maybe being, you know, constantly grinding and no breaks? You know, what do you think the biggest challenge might be inside the house?
I honestly think I'm going to thrive inside the house. I think the biggest challenge just might be being away from my family, my fiance, which we just found out that she's pregnant. So, you know, being away from that, you know, it has its own challenges. But I know that it's going to be worth it, and I'll just keep that at the back of my mind and push through.
Well, congratulations on that. Now you have some extra motivation as well, huh?
Exactly.
When you've watched episodes in the past, what are things that you've thought that contestants have done wrong inside the house? You say you're going to thrive, but what have people done wrong in the house before, you think?
I mean, people talk to me about how it could affect staying in the same house as your opponent, but I just think you get to analyze them for longer. You know, you get to know about them. You know, when we do our open workouts, you're gonna literally be training with them. So I think I'm gonna thrive. You know, it's all just mental pressure, and if you can push past the mental pressure, you'll be a-okay.
You know, and one of the great things about the show is people get to learn about the fighters. They see their personalities. What are you hoping people find out about you during this show?
They're going to find out that I'm going to knock out everyone.
Well, outside of the contract, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter at the end of the day. But what are you hoping to get out of this experience besides, you know, obviously a contract?
I mean, we're a bunch of fighters, you know, people with the same mindset. It's very hard to find that in the real world, as I like to say. So just, you know, connections. Even though we're going to be fighting each other, we're still going to connect on spiritual level. You know, we're all fighters. I mean, getting experience from coaches like DC and Chael Sonnen, that's unreal, you know. Nowhere else would you be able to get that. Even if you enter the UFC, you know, the traditional way, just getting the contract, you won't be able to get that experience from the two of them. So I think, yeah, it's a good experience.
You know, and I think I said that was the last question, but, you know, a lot of people talk about the contender or the ultimate fighter, and some people just say, oh, man, I would just rather go the contender route. Why did you rather go the ultimate fighter route? Why was this the right call for you?
Because it's tougher, and I know I'm a tough man, so got to go through the tougher route to prove yourself, And yeah,
Great answer. Best of luck on the show.
thank you so much.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, bro?
How you guys doing?
You start off by letting everybody know who you are, what weight class, and where you come from.
My name is Joseph Morales. I'm a flyweight, and I come from Sacramento, California.
How excited were you when you got the phone call that you're going to be on this show?
Man, I was excited at first. I had mixed emotions. I was sad that I was leaving my family behind, but I was like super excited to just get, this opportunity to be able to get back into the UFC.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to, being stuck in a house with a bunch of other fighters?
Learning. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn about everybody, where they're from, different cultures and stuff like that. And then just to learn from the coaches and stuff like that, it's going to be a cool experience.
Is there one coach or another that you would rather be a part of?
At first when they announced, I was like, oh, I'm all in on DC. And then after a while, I was like, oh, okay, well, I really want to be with Chael. And now it's just like, I think just having the opportunity to learn from either one of them, they both, have a lot of experience. They're both still around the game. And I think it's just going to be cool to learn from whoever I get to be on the team with.
Awesome. And finally for me, obviously this show it's infamous for, just bringing stars into the UFC. So I guess what are you trying to show on this show? Are you trying to show your personality? Are you trying to show your fight skill? Is it kind of a little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both, man. I'm a cool guy. I'm chill. I get along with everybody. I'm not like some fucking asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been around high-level fighters my whole life. Like, I treat everybody with respect, and I expect the same from everybody else. Like, I'm not going to go in there and try to fucking punk anybody unless we're in the cage locked up. And then after that, it's nothing personal, man. We're here for business. We're entertainers. We all have the same goal, the same dreams, to provide for our family and whatever fame that comes with. But, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Going off what you said, I had to look you up. So you've been here before, 2017, 2018.
Oh, yeah.
You were in the UFC.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've sat at tables like these before answering questions just like you're asking me. I'm like super excited to have the second opportunity because, from a spiritual standpoint, you always ask for like blessings and, right now I just need the opportunity to show. It's not the easiest route. I was on Dana White looking for a fight, and I earned the contract in front of Dana. He said, you're ready to go, and it was a bumpy road. I was 22 years old. I learned a lot, and I've evolved. My game's changed, and I've gotten a lot better since then.
And even outside of the skill set, you got to think like the maturity level. Are you approaching it a completely different? Do you feel like you're going in there with the experience of being here before, but have you learned a lot about what it was like being in here before that you made adjustments even mentally that you'll approach it just differently, even outside of just the skill set?
Yeah, it's just when you're a 22-year-old, you're undefeated. You just get signed to the UFC. Your dreams are coming true, and you're untouchable. Nothing can happen to you. In the outside world and in your career. Yep. So I felt like I was indestructible and nothing can touch me and everything got taken away from me and, I want it back. I want to earn it. This time it's more of like I'm thankful and I have just to even get this second chance is, a blessing in disguise,
And both coaches have great names besides, behind themselves. They have crazy personalities. What do you envision the coaching styles to be from both of these guys?
I think, I feel like DC is going to be more of like a have fun type of coach. And I feel like Chael is going to be a little bit more like laid back but serious type of coach. You know what I mean? Like he wants you to do good, but I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it from the outside looking in.
Who do you think is going to do better in the coaches' challenges?
Oh, I think Chael, dude. He's got those performance-enhancing drugs in him. I think if it's a ping pong match, he's gonna fucking hit that ball through the fucking table. You know what I mean?
I love it. And obviously, you want to become the Ultimate Fighter. You want to get back to the UFC. But outside of that, what are you hoping to get from this whole experience?
Oh man, just to learn. I'm thankful to be able to learn from some awesome coaches and learn about these other fighters. I want to take something that I could give back to my boys or my students or just whoever I could learn and give back. I've had a lot of help throughout the years from coaches trying to help me achieve my dreams. I really want to take what I can, and then when I'm done fighting, give that back to my students and to my 2 sons that I got back at home.
That's awesome. Best of luck on the show.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? We're good? Awesome.
Hi there. First of all, could you start by telling us your name and where you're from?
Hello, myself Arshiyan Memom. I am from India, Mumbai.
Cool. There's not a lot of Indian.
That is always hardest, but for sure in future India will dominate in the UFC for sure.
So it just needs time for the Indians to
Yes,
find the sport.
yes.
Is the Ultimate Fighter show big in India?
Sorry?
Is the Ultimate Fighter show big in India? Is it
Yes,
watched?
yes. Every Indian fighter have a dream to fight in the UFC and to dominate here, to come and fight. But I think yes, the Ultimate Fighter show. Lots of people are watching Ultimate Fighter show in India also. But now I think when the one Indian guy is here, so they will watch, and I think the more views come from India in this show.
What do you think the different coaching styles might be between Chael and DC? They both have big personalities, but how different do you think their coaching styles might be?
Both coach are good. They're the legend fighter. DC have lots of fun in the team, but in another team they have like discipline and all this.
And I'm sure, getting and becoming the Ultimate Fighter and representing India would be wonderful for you. But what else are you hoping to get out of this experience?
This is amazing experience because we are training with our teammates, and tomorrow we have to fight with them. So this is the toughest thing we have to. We know we are weakness. We know our opponent weakness. He know my strength. I know his strength. We train together, and at the same time, and we have to fight with. Like your training partner, you have to fight with your training partner. So it's toughest thing, and I know, Alhamdulillah, I will learn from this.
Do you like to cook?
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of fighters that you might be staying with have never maybe had like authentic Indian food. Are you hoping to
sure.
introduce them to it?
Yes, I will.
I love it. Best of luck on the show.
Just I need Indian masala.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then, thank you so much.
What's up, bro? Can you just start by telling us who you are, what weight class you fight for, and where you come from?
My name is Rodrigo Sezinando. I'm 27 years old. I'm come from Brazil. My last 2 years I've been living in Canada, Vancouver, BC. And I will fight right now for the welterweight on the TUF. So I will definitely is the guy you look and remember my face, remember my name, because I will be the champion there.
How the hell did you end up in Canada?
Sorry?
How did you end up in Canada?
I look for opportunity outside, right? My first fight international. So they give me the opportunity and I hug with everything I have. And then I just like put everything on the bag, my dream on the heart, and then I made the work, you know?
Are there a lot of Brazilians in Canada?
Yeah, we have a lot of Brazilians everywhere on the world, but especially in Canada, we have a lot, right?
How excited are you to be on the show?
I'm actually very, very excited, very glad. I'm feeling like so lucky, but I also worked so hard, so many years for this opportunity, and I definitely will make a count.
Awesome. Good luck, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What do you envision the coaching styles between Chael and DC? You know, big personalities. How do you envision their coaching style to be when you guys get in there and start training?
Both of them is amazing coaches, amazing fighter, right? But my heart have a side. Definitely, I love Daniil Cormier. I respect for sure. Sonnen is amazing fighter, amazing coach. But again, I definitely love the way Cormier teacher, the way Cormier fight. You know, the way he make the things work around. Like always having fun, but when we have to be serious, we be serious. Exactly like me. If you know me as a person, it's a very difference than when I'm inside the cage. So I love kidding a lot, like joke around, play around. But when I'm fight, dude, I'm completely different person.
What do you envision? You know, obviously the fighting and the training is going to be tough and grueling, but what do you envision the biggest challenge inside the house might be for you?
I don't think I have challenge inside the house. For me, it's gonna be pretty easy. I don't really mind like meet my opponent every single day. I think is where I will start to win the fights on the mental game, right? Now it's just the mental game, and I know in my head is very, very strong.
And you guys are going through an experience where you guys might become friends, you might bond, or are you the type that you're going to go in there and you just want to stay focused and you're not there to make friends?
We can be friends, but business, business, you know? If I have to make you bleeding, I will.
That's awesome. And at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter, but what are you hoping to get out of this experience besides just a UFC contract?
I definitely will make a friends there, you know? I definitely will make like people's hating me. But who cares? The end of the day is my arm is gonna hang out, right? So I'm ready for do everything. If I need to do striking, grappling, I don't really care about. I'm ready for do everything. I'm an MMA fighter.
Best of luck in there.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Done?
How are you guys?
Hello, how are you?
Amazing, thank you.
Good stuff. Start off by telling us your name and where you're from.
So my name is Daniil Donchenko. I am 23 years old and I'm from Ukraine. Now I based in Thailand and train in Tiger Muay Thai gym.
You say 23?
Yes.
Are you the youngest in the house?
Oh really?
I think
Great.
so, yeah.
Actually, it's the same every time. I'm the youngest everywhere.
What was it like when they told you, yes, you're going to be on The Ultimate Fighter?
So until the end, you never know, you know, even in the hotel. So it was actually excited all this way, you know, and then they'll tell you it was, wow, finally I have this answer, you know, because until the end, team, they create like pressure, and you never know, because in the hotel it's more guys than in the house will be, you know.
How excited are you to actually get in the house and get started?
It's mean that now I should be ready for fight, you know. And I was ready actually before, but now it means like, okay, you don't have time to enjoy this moment. You should stay focused and you should prepare yourself to hit someone and take some shots.
For anyone who hasn't seen you fight before, describe your fighting style.
You know, my fighting style actually is to put a lot of damage. I don't know, but all my fights, it's every time it's blood, it's elbows, it's knee, you know, it's KOs. And I don't want to put this damage to my opponent, but then I start to fight, my body do it by himself. It's just my body, just my elbow, just my knees. So my fight style, it's to put a lot of damage. Even if it will be, if it will happen in the house that I will lose to some guy, almost I'm pretty sure for next fight he can do it. He cannot fight. So I will fight again because I put a lot of damage on him. I will put a lot of damage on him.
And that might be the reason they chose you. Like you said, you never know that you're in the house until you finally know. Why do you think that they chose you to be in the house?
It's a good question. Why? I think because I'm lucky. I don't know what I should reply. Because maybe they will love my style. Maybe they watch my fights. And yeah.
You know, a lot of times in the tough tryouts, we wonder if it's the personality. Did you feel like you got to show your personality in the tryouts?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm the same person before and now, and I will be the same person before and now. It's just a guy who ready to fight, who ready to hit someone, who ready to take a shots and fight in the middle on the cage until the end. That's all the people love. We are a fighter and we should fight. We not should play by points. I should take care. I should win this round. No, we just need to fight, to show amazing fights for people. Then they will love it. Maybe that's why they love me. They chose me.
What do you think the biggest challenge in the house is going to be for you?
It's not eat too much because it's unlimited.
That's funny you say that. We don't hear that often. Usually people say, oh, I don't want to be away from the family, or it's the so many fights. But for you, it's staying away from the food. I mean, I guess that's a big part of it too, is just staying aware of what you're doing while you're inside the house.
Yes, it's, stay away from the family, of course, but it's already almost all my life I stay away from my family, So it's not a big challenge for me. Of course, I can tell it will be difficult to stay without my girlfriend, and I will tell it later for her, of course, because if not, then I will come back home. She will punch me. Yeah, but no, it's to make weight, to not eat too much, yes, because then it's unlimited, it's too hard. And like Daniil Cormier, I love that cake and chicken. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter, but outside of a UFC contract, what are you hoping to gain from this experience?
Yeah, of course, it's a big experience because I can show for all the world my fight style. And I'm pretty sure anyway, I don't care about win or lose, to be honest, because I know then I will start to fight, they will sign me. Matchmaker will love me, and it's my chance. Of course, everyone wanna win this competition, but the goal is UFC contract, yes? And the goal for me is UFC contracts too. And I'm pretty sure then we'll see how I fight. They will sign me.
Best of luck in the house.
Thank you so much.
Привет, Даниил. Продолжая тему еды, ты в Nice AFC выступаешь в легком весе, здесь полусредний.
Thanks, sir. Oh, yeah. Go Birds. Go Birds.
What's up, bro? Can you let everybody know who you are, what weight class you fight in, and where you come from?
Como hicimos ahí en la entrevista para todos acá de la prensa, quién eres, de dónde vienes y de dónde estás peleando, cuál gimnasio.
¿De dónde estoy peleando? ¿Qué gimnasio?
Sí, nombre, puedes usted usar el micrófono. Nombre, de dónde vienes originalmente y el gimnasio.
Mi nombre es Imanol Rodriguez, soy originario y orgullosamente de Ensenada, Baja California, México. y represento al Team Brazilian Warrior y Blexican.
Imanol Rodriguez pillando del Senado de México, and he's representing, se llaman Brazilian Warriors. Brazilian Warriors. ¿Y dónde están ubicados?
Puebla.
En Puebla. So they're Brazilian Warriors based in Puebla, México.
How excited are you to be on The Ultimate Fighter?
¿De cuánto emocionado estás de estar en el Ultimate Fighter?
Es un sueño, la verdad que estoy listo, estoy pagando el precio y es mi momento, estoy muy emocionado.
It's a dream. I'm ready. I am paying that price and very happy to be here. Very, very, very excited.
And two last ones for me. You have a lot of hype behind you right now. You're going out there and just crushing your competition. How do you not let that hype get to your head?
Vienes con mucho hype. Estás destruyendo la competencia en tu camino hacia el TUF. ¿Cómo lo dejas que el hype que viene contigo te suba a la cabeza?
No hay problema con eso. He trabajado todos los años de mi vida prácticamente en esto y es un día más en el trabajo. No puedo decir nada más que vengo a hacer lo que Dios me puso enfrente y no hay high, solamente es disfrutar el momento, mi momento y demostrarle al mundo quién soy, cuál es mi historia y esto solamente es papeleo para que me den mi contrato.
Listen, I think I've been doing a good job at this. I don't let that get to me. It's just another day of work. You continue to do the work that you put in before. You do what you've been doing has been working. I think it's right now I don't see this as more than a day of the job and the job that you need to do to get there. To me, this is paperwork that I need to do to get that contact. Basically, this is my moment. This is my dream and my story, and that's what it is. I see it just I came here to sign those papers and get that contract.
How is it being Diego Lopez's prodigy?
Diego Lopez's prodigy. I couldn't hear it. ¿Cómo es ser el prodigio, o sea, alguien que viene como casi creación de Diego López?
Pues, ¿qué les puedo decir? Tengo mucho respeto para el equipo. Tanto lo respeto que sé lo importante que es representarlo. Entonces, siento que estoy listo para representarlos. Y, Diego, gracias por todo lo que has hecho por mí. Gracias por repuntar mi carrera por donde tenía que ser. Y nada, hermano, te veo en Puebla pronto y para entrenar para la final.
I have a lot of respect for the team, and it's an honor to represent them, and I'm very happy to be able to represent them. And as far as Diego, thank you, brother, for helping me out and putting me in the right direction. And I can't wait to go back home and train with you for the final.
Good luck.
Imanol, aquí.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás? Gusto verte nuevamente. Imanol, cuéntame un poquito acerca de tu experiencia en Rusia, de cómo te fuiste, de tu historia de vida, ¿no? Que obviamente puede ser inspiradora para gente que está empezando en esto.
Voy a traducir para todos. Just the question was about his experience in Russia and how it could be an inspiration to many of what he's done. So, what was your experience in Russia like?
Yo soy un chamaquito del barrio. No vengo a decirles que estoy aquí por hambre. Gracias a Dios siempre estuvo alguien que me estuvo cuidando y siempre puso un plato de comida en mi mesa. Mi mamá, mi papá, mi familia han estado al pendiente, pero nunca han podido con mis sueños. Tengo que tomar decisiones difíciles, irme de casa, me fui muy chiquito, pero Rusia es un país el cual le tengo mucho aprecio. Dormí en un gimnasio, comía en un gimnasio, entrenaba, me bañaba, hacía todas mis necesidades en un gimnasio, pero solamente vengo al mundo a demostrarle que a pesar de las adversidades se puede. Ya vieron a Brandon, Alexa, que son dignos representantes de México y lo lograron, lo están logrando. Entonces solamente vengo a seguir un camino al cual ya está hecho. Ellos ya abrieron la brecha, entonces vengo a coronar. No solamente vengo por mi contrato, quiero mi campeonato, quiero lo que me merezco y yo ya pagué el precio.
I'm a boy from the hood. Luckily, I'm not someone who has faced hunger, because there's always been, I have had someone upstairs that's always watch out for me, and I've always had someone that put a plate of fruit in front of me. My dad, my mom, they've always been able to provide for me. But I left home very, very early, and Russia is a country that I have a lot of love for, because they welcomed me. And I did what I needed to do. I lived in that gym. I trained in that gym. I did all the stuff that I needed to do. All my daily stuff was at that gym. Ate, slept there. And it was, again, I paid the price so I'd be able to be here. I think that if you see the inspiration that people have, that we have in Brenda Moreno and Alexa Grasso, they did for Mexico something that all of us are very, very happy about, and always is an inspiration. They opened the path for all of us, and I want to be able not to just be in this organization, but I want to get what's mine. I want to get there, and I want to continue this path. And I mean, they open up the gates so we can go for what we want. And what I think I deserve is to be a champion, and that's what I want to be.
Imanol, decía Dana White que el peleador mexicano tiene un ADN diferente. Desde que lo ve, la mirada es diferente. Tu confianza, cuando dices que vienes por el contrato y por el título, ¿qué es más? ¿Es tu ADN mexicano? ¿Es la preparación que has tenido durante estos años? ¿A qué le atribuyes tanta confianza?
They say that the Mexican fighter has a different look in them. There's something in their eyes. What do you think you bring here? And do you think it comes from the fact that, that you're Mexican, the preparation? Where do you attribute that confidence to?
Pues primero que nada, yo nomás estoy aquí porque Dios no le da sueños equivocados a nadie, aun si sean muy grandes, sean imposibles. Entonces, mucha gente no sabe ni tiene idea de lo que he pasado, pero el niño que hace años era yo, sabe lo que hemos pagado y sabe que no solamente por ser mexicano, creo que yo respeto a todas las nacionalidades, pero quiero que entiendan que no hay otra cosa que yo pueda demostrar al mundo más que lo que yo viví. Y nada, no estoy aquí para mostrarle más quién soy, ¿no? Soy esto.
I think that God does not give dreams, the incorrect or wrong dreams to anyone. However big, however impossible it sounds, God gives you the dreams that you're going to be living, and the way, the path is there, your destiny is chosen, and I think that I want to show people my story. This is what I bring to you. It's not just from being Mexican, but people don't know what I've been through. I look back at that kid from a long time ago, and we know what we went through, and it's not just again for being Mexican. It's what is my story, what I've been through. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to show to people, the path that I've had through here, and where it's brought me today.
Last question from me. ¿Qué es lo que más crees que va a ser el reto? ¿Cuál es el reto mayúsculo que tendrás en TUF? ¿Has visto otras temporadas? ¿Qué te ha marcado? ¿Qué te ha gustado?
What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge when you get to that house and to go through everything in TUF?
Bueno, el reto más grande es con mi persona, ¿no? Creo que soy una persona muy noble afuera, soy una persona muy tranquila, pero no hay problema. Cuando cierran la jaula, esa es mi zona segura, es donde me siento fuerte, donde 5 peleas lo han demostrado. Entonces vamos por 6, 7, 8 finalizaciones para llegar como una promesa al UFC.
I think, my personality, I think I am a noble person. I'm a chill guy, but once I get there and you close the doors on that cage, I'm a different person. It's my safe zone. That's where I feel good. I've shown this to you in my 5 fights. I want to go for 6, 7, 8 finishes, and I think I want to be able to show people inside the cage.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. I appreciate it. No, thanks. Bem-vindo.
Obrigado. Thank you.
What's up, bro? Can you let us all know who you are, what weight class you fight with, and where you come from?
Oh, you said what weight class this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Primeiro de tudo, teu nome, para se apresentar para todo mundo aqui, teu nome, a tua divisão e de qual academia você está vindo, qual ginásio.
Bom, meu nome é Eduardo, mas todo mundo me conhece de Chapolinho. Eu tenho... Meu nome? Sorry.
O teu nome, já falou, Eduardo, você vai pro Chapolin, pode falar, não tem problema. Explica o apelido para a galera, aí qual é a tua divisão e onde você treina.
Bom, meu nome é Eduardo, mas todo mundo me conhece de Chapolin. Eu treino em Costa Mesa, na equipe Burn the Line, e tenho 29 anos.
De onde você é originalmente?
Eu sou de Buritama, São Paulo, Brasil.
Tá. E qual é o nome da equipe? Você falou Costa Mesa? Como é o nome?
Burn the Line.
Eduardo, everybody knows him as Chapolin. Out from the countryside of São Paulo. Buritama, training out of Costa Mesa, Burn the Line, Jim.
What's that hammer doing up there?
Explica para eles o martelinho.
Bom, esse martelinho aqui é a marreta do Chapolin. Eu acho que, para quem conhece o personagem do Chapolin, é um super-herói muito famoso no Brasil e no México. Ele é aquele herói que tenta ajudar todo mundo, mas ajuda de um jeito todo atrapalhado, só que no final dá tudo certo. E quando eu comecei a treinar, tipo, na parte de kickbox, eu tinha de 15 para 16 anos, e na minha região tinha muito campeonato, que a gente competia kickbox praticamente todo mês, toda semana. E eu ia lutar. Aí o meu professor ficava no corner e falava assim, ó, chuta a cabeça. Aí eu ia lá, tipo, dava um soco na perna do cara, fazia totalmente ao contrário. E no final dava tudo certo. Eu ganhava a luta. Aí o pessoal falou, pô, você parece o Chapolin, faz tudo ao contrário, só que no final dá tudo certo. Aí, como todo apelido a gente não gosta, no começo eu não gostava, reclamava. E foi aonde pegou, aonde eu peguei esse nickname, Chapolin. Hoje, tipo, adoro representar, tipo, é uma coisa que eu amo muito. Foi por isso que pegou Chapolin.
The hammer's from a superhero of sorts that's known to a lot of people in Brazil and especially in Mexico, where it originally comes from. Chapolin is a superhero, again, of sorts, that he does everything wrong, but everything goes right at the end. So he just kind of screws up and fails to victory. And when I started back in the day, about 15, 16 years old, kickboxing, we had tournaments all the time. We were fighting every month, every week. And I did the opposite of what the coaches were supposed to telling me that I was supposed to do. So, for example, if I hear, like, kick him in the head, I would just go out there and I'll go on, and start striking the guy and just punching him to no end. And then I would win the fights, and everybody would say, you're like Chapolin, man. You're just basically, everything we tell you to do, you do the opposite, but it all comes out of the out. I didn't like it initially, but of course, the more you don't like a nickname, that's what sticks. And I started embracing it. Today, I embrace that. I love to represent the superhero that represents a lot of people.
You have a lot of hype and a lot of I guess media people have named you as one of the best prospects in the entire world. So was it tough to go on The Ultimate Fighter instead of going straight to Contender Series, or even going straight to the UFC because you are a LFA champion?
Você vem com um hype, muita gente falando que você é um dos melhores prospectos daqui. Difícil para você ter que passar por uma etapa dessa, em vez de talvez ir direto para um Contender Series ou até mesmo para o UFC sendo campeão da LFA?
Na verdade, eu até no começo estava achando meio difícil, só que eu creio em Deus, eu acho que tudo tem que acontecer, tudo acontece por um acaso, sabe? Crendo ou não, essa é uma experiência que poucos atletas têm a vontade de fazer isso, ou viver essa experiência que eu estou vivendo, sabe? Eu acho que todos os atletas que estão ali são de alto nível, mas eu sei do meu esforço. Mas isso não me incomoda muito, porque eu aprendi que a gente tem que viver o momento, um dia de cada vez, e tudo que tem para acontecer na nossa vida vai acontecer.
You know, initially it bothered me, but I do believe in God a lot, and I do believe that things happen for a reason. This is a great opportunity. I think it just whatever happens, it's happening because it needs to happen. I think this is a great opportunity for me to showcase my abilities. And again, I do believe that this is the path that I need to follow. And if it's happening for a reason, and it's going to happen because it's there.
Thank you.
Do you envision training with guys like Cub Swanson and your experience as an LFA champion? How do you think that's going to differentiate you from the other competitors?
Por ter treinado com o Cub Swanson e também ser campeão da LFA, como é que isso diferencia você dos atletas que estão no TUF?
Eu acho que quando você treina com o Kobe, é bem legal o estilo dele, versátil ali de movimentação. Querendo ou não, ele tem aquela paixão de te ensinar o passo a passo ali, ou de uma esquiva, ou de um soco. E eu acho que a minha vontade de vencer, eu acho que faz a grande diferença.
I think the training with Cub is a different level because you have a guy who's got this passion for fighting and passion for teaching people what to do. He's very technical when it goes on a step-by-step, it's like how to dodge punches and the avoiding and striking. He's really good at it. So it's great to have an experience like that.
Did he give you any words of advice going into the house?
Algum conselho especial do Cub Swanson que ele te passou?
Para mim, ser eu mesmo, ser quem eu sou, divertido, alegre, extrovertido, ser eu ainda mais na parte da luta ali, agressivo, versátil. E confiar em mim.
For me to be myself, to be fun, be outgoing, to be myself out there inside that cage, to be like versatile movement and to trust being myself.
You've been in big situations with the LFA, and now it's another unique situation. What do you think the biggest challenge that you might find for yourself in there? Is it just going to be time away? Is it the constant grinding and not getting a break away from fighting? What do you think the biggest challenge that you might experience in the house?
Já teve várias situações diferentes, sendo um atleta da LFA, já fez muitas coisas diferentes, já viu muita coisa. Qual que você acha que vai ser o maior desafio para você no TUF, sendo que você já viu bastante coisa na tua vida como toda?
Pô, eu acho o maior desafio que eu vou ter agora é estar morando ali com o meu oponente, de estar vivendo na mesma casa, de estar sentando ali para comer com ele, ou voltar de um treino pesado do dia e ver ele ali, principalmente quando depois da pesagem, no mesmo dia da luta, ele vai estar ali também. Eu acho que essa é a grande diferença, assim, que eu vou estar vivendo uma experiência muito nova.
I think that living in the house with your opponent, just being there day by day, being with the dudes, somebody they're gonna face, is just having conversations, eating, just training with the people that you're gonna be fighting against. I think that's gonna be the newest and most novel factor.
And at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter. But what else are you hoping to get out of this experience?
No final das contas, todo mundo quer ser o ultimate fighter. Mas você, o que você quer extrair dessa experiência?
Bom, o que eu quero extrair, eu acho que é o máximo de treino possível que eu possa estar aprendendo com os coaches, a experiência que eu estou vivendo aqui. Eu sei que todo mundo quer ser campeão, só que eu sei que só no final um vai ser, e acredito eu que eu vou ser o campeão, porque, querendo ou não, eu trabalhei 13 anos para chegar nesse momento.
I think it's to learn from all that training. It's to train and learn from what's going to happen from those coaches. I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter, but we're going to a final when one comes out as a champion. But I think it's an opportunity for you to train and to learn from everything that's around you.
Thank you.
First off, we'll just say, could you start with your name and where you're from?
Primero de todo, tu nombre y de dónde vienes.
Meu nome é Richard e eu sou de Campinas, do interior de São Paulo, Brasil.
Sorry for the language there. It's been a mix. It's been a mix. Richard, you're from Campinas, outside of São Paulo, Brazil.
Talk to me about the emotions you had when they confirmed to you that you would be on The Ultimate Fighter.
Desculpa, porque eu estava fazendo espanhol antes. Emoções gerais quando você recebeu o convite para estar no Ultimate Fighter.
Fiquei muito feliz, né? Todo mundo ficou, principalmente minha mulher, porque é ela que está comigo faz bastante tempo, então a gente ficou muito feliz.
Very happy. Everybody got very happy, especially my wife. She's been with me all along, so everybody was very happy with the opportunity.
For those who haven't seen you fight before, can you give us a couple of words to describe your fighting style?
Para aqueles que não viram você lutar ainda, você poderia em algumas palavras descrever o teu estilo de luta?
Meu estilo de luta é striker, né? Eu sou do Muay Thai, já treino Muay Thai já faz 17 anos, então eu sempre busco finalizar minhas lutas com nocaute.
My fighting style, it's Muay Thai, it's kickboxing. I've been training for 17 years, and that's where I look for Muay Thai and a lot of and try to get for the knockout.
And if there's one thing you could take away from this entire experience, what would it be?
E se tem uma coisa que você possa extrair dessa experiência toda de estar no TUF, qual seria?
Eu acredito que treinar com grandes lendas, né? Quando você treina com uma pessoa que tem muita experiência, é uma coisa única, né? Eu acho que essa oportunidade do TUF ela fornece isso.
I think training with legends. I think when you train with people that have so much experience, that's a unique thing. I think this experience in TUF allows you to do that. All good? Você foi tranquilo.
Terminou já?
Isso. Esse aqui é só para dar uma apresentação. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, what did I just do? What did I do with that?
Just like start with your name and where you're from, please.
Yeah, my name is Jefferson Kraton, and I'm welterweight.
I would imagine, you've probably seen The Ultimate Fighter before, but to know that you're about to get on it and be a part of it, talk to me about the emotions.
The emotions are grateful. I'm just I realize how big of an opportunity this is. This is a life-changing opportunity, and I plan on capitalizing on that.
I feel like people underestimate that this is an athletic competition, essentially mixed in with a psychological destroyed of being away from your family and everything like that. Which one are you least looking forward to?
I would say I'm least looking forward to the psychological. Like you said, just being away from family, away from your loved ones. But they're my why, and I'm here, and they're counting on me. So I'm gonna win the whole entire thing.
Yeah. If one person in the house could do one thing to piss you off, what would it be?
Steal my food.
I get it.
That's a big one. I want to cook my own food. Stay away from my food. I'm labeling everything.
So Jeff,
What's going on?
so you've been looking for an opportunity. You've been going to all these promotions, all the usual promotions. You just give me a fucking opportunity, and you get this opportunity. How stoked are you, finally?
I'm super excited. I feel like this season, being the 20-year anniversary season with both of the coaches that we have, it's going to be an amazing experience, and I plan on capitalizing. This is my opportunity, and I'm here to win the whole entire thing.
It's just loud for me, man. Like, how was it? How did you, keep confidence and just kind of, keep going after getting all these titles and fighting and keep fighting and not getting a call from the UFC, not getting a call from these big promotions, but you kept on going and, just kept fighting?
Faith. Definitely just faith in my journey and knowing that I am going to get there, whether they like it or not.
Good luck, dude.
Prefer Jefferson or Jeff?
I prefer Jeff. Only people who call me by my full name is my wife and my mom when they're yelling at me, so I'll take Jeff. Let's just stay to Jeff.
What do you think the different coaching styles between Chael and DC? I'm sure you guys are going to be happy with either one, but how do you envision that their coaching styles might differ?
I think DC probably a little bit more serious as far as maybe I think DC's been a world champ. He knows what it takes to be a world champion. I think he's a little bit more serious on that regard. Chael, he's a master marketer. He's been in the game for a while, been in huge fights. He knows how to deal with the pressure as well. I think either way, I'm in good hands.
Yeah. Do you think one of them has an advantage when it comes to the coaches' challenges? Who do you think does better?
I'm going to say, now that I've seen both, hopefully, I don't know, they're both pretty big right now.
Yep.
They're both pretty big right now.
You know, and it's one thing to see somebody, you know, watch them on TV, but now you get the chance and opportunity to actually like pick their brain. I mean, is that one of the best, I guess, things out of this is the matter that you're going to have all this sit down time with the champ to actually pick and get their mindset on things?
Of course. Yeah, definitely being able to learn from them and their experiences going through this will be huge in my journey. I know that. And I hope to take whatever they teach me and, you know, solidify myself and take it in my journey and use it.
And kind of, I guess it goes right with that. You know, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter at the end of the day, but what are you hoping to get out of this experience at the end of the day?
I plan just on, I think the biggest thing is just showing the world that I belong. You know, I really believe that I should be in the UFC, and I should have been in the UFC a while ago, and now I just get to prove it in front of everybody. So,
best of luck in there.
Thank you.
Good to go?
What's up, bro? Can you start by just telling everybody who you are and where you fight out of?
My name's Matt Dixon. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I fight out of the Dog Pound boxing gym.
My question to you is, you fought on Contender Series. Obviously, it didn't go your way, but where the hell have you been?
So a lot happened, actually. I had started my own business right before I had gotten onto the Contender Series. And during COVID, that started to take off a little bit. And I had competed for quite a while up until the Contender Series. And I was getting to the point where I really enjoyed fighting in MMA, but I really started to just enjoy the winning aspect and just fighting to win. And honestly, I burnt out. And, you know, it probably was 2.5 years. And then I came back. You know, I had really had a good amount of time off to remember why I got into this sport in the first place and fell right back in love with it. And ever since then, I just have been eager to compete.
How did you come to the realization that you still love MMA and want to fight?
Yeah, you know, I don't think that the desire ever died. It was just the training without having to focus on fighting to win and training to win and making it all about winning, and except for, you know, obviously that pressure is always going to be there, but not having the pressure necessarily to just focus on winning and training for that reason only. That, you know, being away from that separated me, or it was a good chance for me to really reignite that love for the sport and do it because I enjoyed it, train because I enjoy fighting, you know, fight because I actually want to fight and I have fun doing it.
No, so obviously you went through the Contender Series. You got that pressure off your back. Yep. Now you're going into another thing that has pressure with it. Do you feel like you're kind of built for it now because you lost on the biggest stage, technically, right? Do you feel like you're right for TUF?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So much happened, you know, from that experience. You know, honestly, I felt like I was winning that fight and just gassed out in the second round. You know, I've learned how to pace myself. I've learned so much about myself over the years. I got married. I have a child now, and I mean, I'm a completely different person now, and I just feel like this competition is tailor-made for me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Prefer Matt?
Yes.
Okay. They got you listed as Matthew, but your bio is Matt. Just want to make sure we put you as the name that you...
Appreciate that.
You know, coaches, both of them have great histories and stories between them. You know, what do you think the differences of the coaching styles, and would you be happy with either one?
Yeah, absolutely. They're both studs. I mean, these guys have been a part of some of the most iconic moments in UFC history. I mean, You have, whenever I was 15, I remember watching, I was somewhere around 15, I remember watching Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen and the build up to that fight, watching, I had never heard, this was before Conor McGregor and all of that stuff. So up until that point, there was never a promotion style that was quite like that. And so I remember that being one of the moments that really made me fall in love with the sport in the first place. And, that entertainment aspect is definitely one of the things I find the most fun about the sport. I'm not, talking trash or anything like that for the most part, but, there is a fun aspect to all of that. And then obviously you have DC, a double champion, and he's obviously been there, done that, and so he's a great coach as well too. So, I mean, either way, it's a great, coaching experience.
And you're going to have the unique experience of going through both things. A lot of people now are like, well, I want to go the contender route. And you have a lot of people that are like, I want to go the Ultimate Fighter. You'll have the experience of saying, I've done both of them.
Yeah.
Is that kind of unique and interesting? And the fact that I don't know of many others, if any, that have done that.
Absolutely. Honestly, the storytelling on the Ultimate Fighter is going to be so much more in depth. On the Contender Series, you have like maybe 5 minutes of airtime. The people may remember you, they may not. Here, there's going to be a lot of time to let those stories develop. And so I'm really excited to actually get out there and have my story, pushed out to the audience.
And maybe that's it. I've been asking, everybody, ultimately you want to be the Ultimate Fighter at the end of this, but what else are you hoping to get out of this? Is it a matter of using it to brand yourself and get your namespace out there, or what are you hoping to take from this?
Yeah, absolutely. This is an opportunity to prove that I'm the best, first. But, obviously the business aspect of it being a chance to, get that story out there is definitely a very big part of it as well. That's it. Thank you.
Let them fight over the wireless.
We made it. Okay. These days. Let's do this.
What's
Hi,
up, guys? I think we'll start off with the fact that while this may be a reality TV show, it's also an athletic tournament. And I know, Chael, you spoke on this in the past, as one of the toughest ones in sports. With that said, do you have to come in here with the coaching mindset of like, hey, guys, ignore the cameras, we're here to win a competition?
All right, so, yeah, you're there to win. And honestly, we were telling these kids yesterday, we're going through the coaching, the picks, and you get excited about guys that you draft, essentially. But only one person wins this thing, right? So you just got to pick the right guy. It's not about picking every guy. You got to pick the right one, because only one wins. But, you know, Chael and I were talking about this on our show, and he said, this is the hardest sporting tournament there is in the world. And I agree. And we're going to see who wins this thing. So, yes, it's a competition first.
Yeah, and coaches get a lot of credit, like just the way that this thing is presented, where it turns into a competition between he and I don't ever have to compete. Like, that's the furthest thing that this is, but it's presented that way. And I will tell you the truth, which is a coach cannot help an athlete a tremendous amount in 30 days, but a coach can hurt one. I've seen that happen. I've seen coaches grind their teams up before, take their motivation away, where all the guy wants to do is get out of the house and go home. And that is the part that you're talking about that does get missed a little bit. Like, they show the physical side of this and they show the weight cut, but it's the torment. It's, you know, so many people will tell you, if you want to make it in life, you got to try, you got to show that you want it. But there's not a lot of barriers anywhere in life where you actually have to really sacrifice and show how important this is to you. And the Ultimate Fighter is very unique for that reason.
So what's the balance here, right? Obviously, they have to go in and win fights, but they're also in a house away from their families. We've had guys up here, fiancés pregnant, newborns and stuff like that. How do you as coaches, kind of when they have those mental wobbles, keep them on track?
Well, it's a chance of a lifetime for these young men. And, you know, they have to almost put everything else in a box if you want to survive under these rules. And to Chael's point, I did that. Right? I think this is why Chael and I are going to be good in these roles, because we've done it before. The first time I did this thing, everybody got hurt because we overtrained them. Now I understand how to balance training these guys for a short period of time. While we won the fights last time, we were having to forfeit moving forward into the tournament. But yes, they are good. I know they say don't compartmentalize. They say don't stick things in a box and tuck it away. I am going to tell these guys that that's what they have to do, because right now you have to live for the opportunity to move forward, win fights, and try to earn a contract. Or do so well that even if you don't win, the UFC goes, I remember that guy. I want to make sure that this dude's in our organization.
Yeah, and you know, one of the tricks is finding the right team. And a lot of that isn't just who's got the most skills, but who wants to be with you. Like, there are some guys that are really going to hope that I pick them, but there's other guys here that admire and look up to Daniil. And I will just tell you, if I end up with some of the guys that were leaning towards Daniil and I start to lose them, I'm going to go grab Daniil. And I'm going to say, can you talk to this guy? And with a young man, it has to be another man, and that other man has to be older. That's just the way it works. But to look up to and to be able to listen to somebody, yes, if I had a guy and I was losing him through this process, particularly somebody that had already been eliminated, and I got to go to DC and say, can you come talk to the guy? I will do that. And
Chael and I are open to trading. We do. We will. You might see in this season trades where we just go, hey, Chael, I kind of can't handle this guy. You want him?
See, it's funny because you guys are obviously friends. You guys are colleagues, but you are one of the most competitive people I've ever met. I know you don't want to lose. Is there a chance that halfway through this season, it's like, this motherfucker's getting one over on me, and the competition starts breeding between you two?
It's always going to be competitive. Chael and I, honestly, we've competed against each other since 1999. When I was wrestling at Oklahoma State, and I would wrestle his friend Doug Lee, and he would wrestle my friend Mark Munoz, I knew who Chael Sonnen was, even if we didn't wrestle each other. I knew Mark had a busy day at the office every time. And Chael probably knew I had a busy day at the office with Doug Lee. So it's like we've been competing against each other for years. And so that won't change. And also bragging rights. We do a show together twice a week. I want to be able to go on that show at the end of this thing and go, at any moment, there's a lower third on our show that says currently off topic. I want that currently off topic to be when I'm just rubbing it in his face that I kicked his ass the entire season of TUF.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It does get very competitive, and there is a game that we both want to win. The strategies are interesting, though. I mean, ultimately, they're going to flip a coin. Whoever wins that gets first choice, but the other guy gets to pick the first matchup. Mm-hmm. If you win that matchup, you keep the power to keep picking, and that's a very powerful tool. So, I mean, it is a little bit of a debate of which do you want. Do you want first choice or do you want the first guy?
So I got to be honest, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to pitch to the producers to just, you win the coin flip, you win everything. Because why should there be a difference, right? The luck of the draw is a powerful thing. And when faith intervenes and flips the coin on your side, you get all the power. right?
Yeah.
Or would you agree to that?
I do agree with that, yeah. And
So
then-
will you agree with the coin flip? We go to the producers and go, whoever wins the coin flip takes all the power.
No.
No?
I couldn't agree to that, no.
Okay.
That would be too powerful. I mean, that would essentially settle. No,
You're
it's got,
Thanos.
there's
Then you're
checks
Thanos.
and balances, right? So I think that it's only fair. However, if you win the coin toss and you get the first pick, you keep that roster. If you lose the fight you predicted, now you've lost everything. So that's interesting how he said that. I will tell you this though, through this process. To be a veteran of the Ultimate Fighter should be viewed in our industry so much more valuably than it is. I remember when the UFC would have 5 and 6 shows a year. And on the regional scene, if one of those guys made the poster and he was a UFC vet, that's what they would write, a UFC veteran, you'd sell the place out just based on this guy. And being a UFC veteran is certainly an honor, but to come to the Ultimate Fighter, and I'm not talking about winning, I'm talking about show up on day one and don't leave early. No excuses, no illness, no injury, no I'm homesick, to make it through. It is such an honorable process. And you could have the right two guys. The Bonner versus Forrest fight could be the very first one because the coaches don't fully know who they're putting together. And I just think that's interesting. The first time I came through, one last story, but Kelvin Gastelum was the last pick. And the guy that Dana himself thought was going to win this whole thing is who Kelvin had to fight to get into the house. Dana was right. That guy was so good that Kelvin's fight with him was the only one where they went to overtime, which means the third round. That was the hardest and closest fight that Kelvin ever had. That guy never got into the UFC. He got looked at from that moment forward as the guy that wasn't good enough to get in the house, instead of as the guy that pushed the champion further than anyone else. So, I mean, it's a very dangerous game. And in that regard, Daniel and I don't take it playfully. We will try to help these guys.
Last one from me. You know, you in the spirit of competition, you guys both fought at 205, Prime versus Prime. Which one of you would win the fight?
Okay, so here's the deal. We aren't fighting. I told this to Dana yesterday. I go, I don't want to fight anybody. Because he was making fun of us. He goes, did the GFL call you guys? I was like, they didn't even call me because they know I don't want to fight. And Chael probably turned them down. So like, we're good. But I just have no desire to fight anyone. Chael and I did come up with an idea, though. And I don't know if you guys would be into this, Chael. Like, is it the right time that we pitch this thing?
Tell him.
Okay, so Chael and I are talking, and we're going, I have Michael Chiesa on my coaching staff. Chael has Colby Covington on his coaching staff. Why don't they just fight, and then Chael and I coach them? That's about as close as we would both get to going back into the octagon. So why don't those dudes just fight each other?
And to back Daniel up, I can't believe nobody's suggesting that. That's the obvious fit. Like, I don't think that Colby and Chiesa are going to get through this process without finding one another.
But imagine how much we can instigate them. It would be awesome. Like, we could instigate those guys for 4 weeks without having to get punched. See, I would instigate Stipe, but there was always a moment that I thought, once I was like, man, he might actually hit me. Because I was messing with him so much. We don't have to worry about getting hit by each other. Like, we can make them hit each other.
Yeah, and by the way, you asked me earlier if I would agree to all the power within the coin flip. Yeah. I will agree to all the power if Colby versus Chiesa find each other. I'll agree to concede the whole process to that.
So we need to go to the big wigs right here and pitch this. Hopefully they see this and take it into consideration.
By the way, can I tell you something? He's such a gentleman. We have sparred together plenty of times. I did well with him, and that meant a lot. He was the world champion. I've never won a round with him. That's just the truth. So he comes out and covers me, and I actually really appreciate that he does that. But it doesn't hurt my ego. I was an 85. It doesn't hurt my ego that the world champion could have beat me.
He was good. Chael was good.
Speaking of that, you started touching upon your coaches. Can you guys elaborate and tell us who's going to be in your corners?
Yeah. So I got like all my guys, right? I would have had Javier Mendez, but this dude's in like Abu Dhabi, right? He kind of lives there at times. He's with Khabib and them working. So Bob Cook, who's been like my right-hand man my entire career. Rosendo Sanchez, my little boxing coach, the guy that attacked Brock Lesnar. He was about to get his ass kicked. He had no idea. He didn't get the script. He didn't get the script. Like, I talked to Brock. I said, walk in here. You push me.
I remember where I was when I watched him push Brock. I thought, what is he doing?
I go, dude, follow the damn script. I go, Brock, push me. So Brock shoves me. And Rosendo pushes him. And Dana grabs him. He collars him. But Rosendo Sanchez, Michael Chiesa, John Wood, who I've grown to really like, and I think he's a tremendous coach. John and I connected over the pandemic on Fight Island. I would kick his ass in video games, and he'd hold pads for me. And Thiago Beowulf's one of my friends, kickboxing guy, and Jacob Casper. He's the guy that he wrestles in the WWE now, but he was a 2-time NCAA Wrestling All-American. So yeah.
Yeah, I would love to tell you mine. I got Cowboy Steve first off, and he'll do our like the nutrition and the weight cut. He'll be the strength and conditioning coach as his official title. He also serves as my real life father-in-law. Yeah. I got Colby Covington. Colby will be able to get his hands on these guys. It's the same weight class. I hope that Colby views this as a training camp. I hope that he understands he's got the great minds and bodies in the nicest facility you could ever train in with the nicest equipment. Ultimate Fighter, they told us the day we walked in, they said, look around the gym, and if there's anything that isn't here, tell us, we'll have it overnighted. So when I tell you this is the world's nicest gym, that comes with no exaggeration, and I hope Colby views it that way. We do 2 practices a day. I'd like to see him put his hands on these guys twice a day. Mason Fowler is coming in. He's on an airplane.
Yo, when did you do that? When did you get Mason Fowler? Dude,
2
Mason
days ago.
Fowler's a turncoat and a backstab.
You know Mason?
Mason Fowler is a turncoat and a backstab.
What? I didn't even know you knew him.
He trained with Cody Merrill twice a week when he was trying to become world champion.
Really?
He needed to wrestle, and he would come to my academy.
Wow.
I went so far as to call him my athlete. And he's on your coaches. Mason Fowler is a turncoat.
Could he take Merrill down, by the way?
No, he would just get beat up.
I wouldn't
It
think
was
he'd
all
take Merrill
wrestling.
down,
It was
yeah.
all wrestling. But in jiu-jitsu, Mason was just a man. And, dude, he was so strong. He wasn't that strong when I was fighting. I think when you retire, like, people, their strength is, like, bigger.
Mason finished Craig Jones, and there was such controversy. Largely, John Danaher had such a problem with the calling of the match that we redid it. Mason tapped Craig Jones again, and this time with no controversy. I believe in the grappling world, if the UFC Fight Pass event, if they don't put Mason Fowler against Gordon Ryan, I mean, when we look back at how great Gordon is and he is, he's got to do that match. That is the escaping match, and no one's pushing that together. Gordon and Mason have to grapple. Then, of course, I got Clayton, Jamie Huey, and I think I've rudely forgotten a coach. I apologize for that, but that's our staff.
Well, speaking of Mason, was that purely coincidence, or was that already the first competition won against DC? Right
Yeah,
there?
I didn't know that story. I'm going to have to ask Mason. Vinny Magliesh was coming with us. And you're filling out the forms. You got to check a box. And Vinny had to check a box that he didn't want to check. And so it delayed his participation, and that's where Mason came from. So Mason was a last-minute shuffle. That's true.
We're speaking of, you guys have been there before. You understand the severity, and I think one of the best things you said earlier, you're talking about you didn't want to break these fighters. You want to give them the best training in there. So when you're picking your staff, are you taking that in mind, that you're not just picking somebody random that might be a friend of yours? You're picking people that you think can have an actual meaningful impact to their training.
Yes, the answer to that is yes. Daniel and I both tried to get one of our own guys. He had a guy that he thought would be great for this process at one of these weight classes. I had a guy that I thought could do great in this process for one of the weight classes. We thought we had power.
And we did. And I swear to God, that was part of the reason we did it.
Neither one of us did our guy.
We did it because we thought we'd each have a guy. And then come to find out, he was going to pick my guy first.
Yep.
So then we show up. Our guys aren't here. I walk in and I'm like, where's my dude? And then this Noah is the producer. Noah, he has no explanation. Well, we got to pass it through these things. I'm like, what? No, what the fuck? The guy, they told us we had a guy.
Yeah.
And then we show up. Our guys aren't here.
Yeah.
It's the most
Noah's
thing.
slick, by the way. This
He's
guy's
a slickster, man. You can't trust him. He's got his hand in your. Hey, he's talking to you here, and he's got his hand in your pocket.
Daniel and I were trying to come up on a car. Like, traditionally speaking, Dana would get the winners of the show car.
Where's our car?
And Noah let us know, yeah, but the difference was those coaches fight. You guys don't fight.
Yeah.
He got us on the house. On the house, we're out here, all because he was a better negotiator. I
Can
was
you
not
believe
ready
that?
for him to say that.
I swear I
I
walked
told him.
away like he robbed me.
Yeah.
Noah, he
I shook
robbed
his
me.
hand. I shook his hand. And
Unbelievable.
congratulated him.
Bro, I thought I was getting a car at least.
Yeah.
I'm here now. I don't have a car. I don't have the money. Noah got me.
Pulled out a sword and just chopped us up.
Noah, can you please get the?
The winner of the Ultimate Fighter is Noah.
Noah, could you please come here and help? Like, I dropped my name. I want people to see who you are so they know to go in the opposite direction when you come walking.
And you mentioned earlier, and you guys are friends.
got it, Noah?
And here's
hey, this guy right here. That's Noah
here's
right there.
Noah.
That's Noah.
Watch him. When you see him, hide your wallet, man, because this dude ain't giving you a car or your
No,
paycheck.
the company owes him. The company needs to. This guy's already saved them about 300
Yeah,
grand.
he saved them a ton of money. Well, thank you for doing this like that, man.
I like your
very rarely
sharp.
do I get someone like do you like me, you did me, and I still quite enjoy you. You're very handsome. You got nice hair, and he dresses nice. See that? This guy,
Yeah, sure.
a good-looking guy can rob you.
I'm trying to keep up with you. Yeah. Smooth. Noah was very smooth.
Thank you, Noah. Go
Well,
ahead.
again, you guys are friends, but you're also competitors. But one of the things that you guys mentioned earlier, you said, if I can't get to this guy, and I know that, say he's a DC guy, I'll take him over to DC, and I'm sure you would do likewise. Would you guys ever thought that would you have ever thought of that the first time or when you were there before? Or is it because of the strong relationship that you guys have, but also wanting to make the best effort for these fighters?
Yeah.
Would you think you had ever done that before?
Well, I think you're different in retirement also, right? Because as an athlete, you think that the answers you have are going to work. You can't step outside yourself to go, maybe Chael will connect better with this guy. As a retired guy and a guy that coaches full-time, maybe he will have a better connection. I'm not opposed to doing that. With that being said, the guy needs to be big enough to go, hey, coach, I think I would do better there. I'm not going to do it for them, right? If you want to make that type of decision, you have to own it and go, coach, I think I'd do better there. But, yeah, it's the relationship, the friendship, but also just being a different person than I was in 2018. In 2018, I was still a killer, right? Like, I was a killer. I'm not that anymore.
Yeah. Is it hard not to get vested into these fighters when you spend this much time and effort? Or is it just human nature to get vested and involved with these fighters?
I've never gone through a process. I had high school and we had school spirit. I was on a college wrestling team and we had spirit and do a reunion every couple of years. I've never been part of something where the bonding is as strong as this. And largely just because you will see them at their worst. I could only imagine. You win a fight, you can't call and tell your mom. You lose a fight, you don't get a call and get consoled by your mom. I mean, that is a very difficult thing. And so as these guys go through this, they keep their game face on, but they're hurting inside. These guys, they're having so much fun today, and they're going to go to the house, and we're going to pick teams and start training. 10 days from now, it's not going to be fun anymore. It's going to be very monotonous, and it is really a battle of duration, which will never get around the big statement that Dana made on season 1, which is, do you want to be a fighter? The entire time, you're going to have to ask yourself that, and it's very hard to say yes every day for the entire process.
I actually one time won a fight and still had to be consoled by my mom. Yeah. That's how bad it was. Like, sometimes,
Who was it?
Dude, Josh Barnett. He beat me so bad. He beat me so bad, Chael. I was fine. I had my belt. I walked around like the man. I was taking pictures. I had a cut on my head here. My mom, God bless her soul, she was the sweetest human being on the planet. I walk into that house, into that hotel room. The moment I saw her, I fell to the floor and started crying. I'm in my mother's arms, and she's rubbing me. Poor baby, he tried to kill you. He tried to kill my baby.
Kill my baby.
Tried to kill my baby. I cried in my mom's arms for 30 minutes. It's crazy.
Josh Barnett is so nasty, though. People don't give him credit.
I hated fighting him.
If you're talking about the best 5 heavyweights ever, and you don't mention Josh Barnett in there, you lose credibility.
He was so he just did things like he wanted to hurt me. I'm like, dude, we're just in the clinch. Why is your knuckle in my eye? Like, what are we doing here, dude?
He's mean.
He was mean.
Well, I know at the end of the day, you want these fighters, everyone wants to get the championship, but what are you hoping that the fighters take away from this experience?
Well, first and foremost, I want it to be a positive experience. I want them to get good training. I want them access to some ideas and some coaching and maybe even some drills that they can take with them. But we want them into the UFC. It is very strongly advertised that the winner of this tournament comes, and only the winner of this tournament. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if, from 2005 to now, I don't know that there was ever a time where we ended up honoring that. These guys, they went through so much, and Dana saw it. Even on season 1, Forrest, but it was also Stefan. And so my only point is, if you have the right attitude and you can form the right relationships here, Dana White met them all yesterday. Hunter Campbell will be meeting them all. Craig Broussard will come over and they'll meet them all. if you start to build some relationships here, it's very hard to screw something in your career up if you get this opportunity. You're not guaranteed, but you are guaranteed that you're going to come out of this in a better spot than you came in. That's true.
So the fighters don't fight to get in the house anymore, right? So how was your of scouting these guys, right? Like, do you go back and like watch film? You just look at the piece of paper and be like, oh, let's train with it.
So we do these drills, like we have this thing, right? We grappled, we wrestled, and then we did some sparring. And Michael Chiesa's a psychopath, bro. He's like, you get those friends that just like really try hard? It's like, that's Michael Chiesa, bro. He's like, my brain can only do so much. So we go through the process. And by the time I'm done after a couple hours, I'm like, I'm fried. We get into the locker room before we pick. Michael Chiesa has his computer in the entire coaching staff, and he's forcing them to watch fights. And I'm just on the back wall with a towel covering me and 3 on the floor sleeping. I'm like, I can't do it no more, Mike. I'm like, please stop. And then when we're picking, they're bullying me the whole time. And I'm like, dude, like, please stop. Like, I can't. Whose team is this? It's Michael Chiesa's team. He's crazy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, by the way, I will just offer something for you, whether you find this interesting or not. But let's just say that Daniel was to win the coin toss and get the first pick. He should know, whoever he picks first, whoever that person is, I'm going to put in the very first fight. And I'm not going to put my first pick against that guy. I'm not going to give you any more clues than that.
Can we make a deal?
Whoever he picks
Let's do first pick versus first pick.
is getting called out in the very first match. So he better pick wisely.
Why would you do that?
To be a dick about it.
Because
to be a dick about it. To show you that this whole pick process is
But if you
flawed.
pick my first guy,
Yeah,
then I would say that you putting your guy against my best guy.
correct. In theory.
So you want to take the best guy out
In the
That
first
is a
round.
Very interesting.
Which I don't think that they will take into account.
They
I'm
would
just
never
letting
expect
know.
you would. I would never
If you
expect you to
win the
put my
total-
first guy out there.
Yep. But
I
I'm
hope
gonna.
you would not do that.
I will do that.
I hope you would not do that.
I even have a strong feeling who I'd put him against.
Chael.
But it will not be my first pick. That's all I can tell you.
This guy Chael sucks, man.
Chael, are you not going to let DC get too close to you? Like,
That's very good self-defense advice. I mean, the best thing you can do is keep it back. That was my father's rule. Most fathers tell their sons, you can defend yourself, but let him throw the first punch. My dad said, no. When he's if he's within arm's reach,
gotta hit him.
you take the first punch. He said the fight has begun, so you keep him back. But if they evade that space, go first.
When they make an aggressive action, you take them out. When you put your hand out there, that's your warning. The moment it's almost like when we were growing up in Louisiana. And guys, honestly, this is why ESPN was very hesitant about putting Chael and I on the show together. We get a little bit like Tweety Bird. But when we were kids, I would get you and some guy. If I knew you wanted to fight him, I would take like a twig or a stick and I'd say, put it on your shoulder like this. And then the other guy, I would say, if you really want to fight him, you're going to knock that off of his shoulder. And by knocking it off of his shoulder, you are insulting his mother.
Wow.
How about that as a fucking kid, huh?
Yeah, wow.
How about that about starting a fight?
So what
Imagine
happened?
what we could do to Colby and fucking Michael
Yeah.
Chiesa. Think about it. That is how I started fights. I would put a twig and go, if you knock that off, you're talking about his mama.
Damn.
So then the guy like walk by him and shove him with his shoulder. Fight started. It was awesome.
Honestly, what do you think the odds are that Chiesa and Colby are going to pass each other twice a day, every day, and it's just going to be hot?
Well, they were like they were in the same area, but they seemed to not look at each other yesterday. Yeah, what is that? Why do people do that?
I don't know. But
Dude, if I know that there's a guy in my weight class the whole time, I'm trying to stare at him.
Yes.
Because I want him to know I'm not scared, but maybe by staring at him, I'm showing the fear that is really inside of me. Like, dude, I'm looking at you because if you look at me, I'm probably going to turn away from you.
and I just got one more for you guys. Outside of TUF, it's been a couple of days since Sean Strickland lost to DDP and DDP retained. I just want to know, Chael, you know Sean pretty well. What were your thoughts on his performance and where he should go? And DC, obviously you were there calling.
Yeah.
People are kind of piling on this guy right now.
Yeah, why? Did he do bad? I was proud of his effort.
It's kind of crazy how much people are piling on when, sure, he lost. Sometimes you get beat. You know what's crazy? That I get it, that he can be like, I'm this, I'm going to do this, I'm this. Dude, sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. Your intention is to go out there and die. right? And some guy kicks your butt to the point that you're like, fuck, man, I might actually have to die fighting this dude. And you're like, I don't want to do that. Sometimes, right? Like, you have the right to pivot and turn.
Sure. Having your nose broke it hurts really bad. Like breaking a finger and breaking your nose, two small things, but I will just tell you, like, the pain is really immense. And to watch Sean reset it and stay in that fight, the math was already against him when his nose broke. He was not going to win that fight. He did not have the power. He wasn't going to find the guy. The math was against him, so he can stay out there for another 12 minutes taking an ass whipping because it was honorable, or he could quit. He chose to stay in there and take an ass whipping.
Yeah, he did.
So where these people keep saying that Sean didn't put out an effort, Daniel, it's not what I saw. It was a fair adjudication. It turns out DDP is better than any of us knew that he was. Turns out he's better under this game of the unified rules than Sean is. You walk away. That's how it works. You shake hands, you walk away.
I'll say this too, right? Because one time Luke Rockhold, he was on that podcast. He does the Jackson podcast, and he's saying shit about me. And that's my boy. I love that guy to death. But Luke, and I told Luke, I swear to God, I told Luke, I go, Luke, don't fight Mike Perry in bare knuckle fight. Lay off of it. The dude got beat. Don't make it. He didn't want to get beat.
I feel like people are equating his trash talk to Chael's trash talk, right? And it just...
Chael, did you feel like that? Like, you feel when you lost after talking trash, did people pile on you? Or did you just not care?
Not like they are Sean.
No, it's the weirdest thing, bro.
I was pretty good at blowing it off, but I have been very surprised because it's just not what I saw. I saw a really hard fight with two really good guys. One of them was better at it. We pack up and go home. I felt like that. I didn't feel cheated as a fan at all. I thought it was a good fight.
Dricus du Plessis is really good.
Why is he so good? He's good at what? What
I
is
still
he
can't
good
understand it. He's everything. He's good at everything, actually. He can wrestle, he can punch, he can kick.
What does he say about himself? Does he say he's a striker, or does he say he's a wrestler?
Dricus thinks that his technical skills are as good as anyone, even Pereira. Kickboxing.
Wow.
He, in his mind, and that's why he's so good. Because he thinks that what he does is the way things are supposed to be done. He's the man.
Can he stop Chimaev from taking him down?
Man, I can't really.
For 25 straight minutes.
I don't know, man. Hey, Dean Thomas had a great. That was one thing Dean Thomas was good about when he said it's hard to sprint like that for 25 minutes. So if Dricus can last through the first couple rounds, I think he becomes a real problem for Chimaev.
Yeah. Hello, guys. Just a short and stupid question from me. According to your show, one of you is good guy and another one is bad guy. And does it mean that in this tough season we'll see a good team and a bad team?
They're the good guys' teams. When I get a guy and I invite him over, I recruit him, come to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kids I got along with best in school are the ones I met right outside of the principal's office. And if push comes to shove, I don't think Daniel's willing to cheat to win. I don't think he knows how to cheat to win. I do, and I will, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, Chael. I mean, I love how you look at me through these rose-colored glasses because, I mean, there's a very public instance in which I cheated.
Oh, misunderstanding.
It was really.
On.
But honestly, I just think that we're kind of both.
They put the towel there. You're naked. You want to make sure everybody that don't drop the towel. So
it really was. I was just trying to stay up because they already had showed my ass the first time I missed weights. I'm like, let's not do that again. We always make fun of this, right? Good guy, bad guy. Best show, #1 rated show on ESPN.
True.
It's kind of bad guy and just slightly less bad guy. That's kind of what we like to call it because I'll cheat a little bit if I have to. I will not say that when we flip that coin, it will not have a weight on one side or a magnet.
Do you feel confidently that Chiesa could beat Colby?
I don't know. And that's what makes it interesting.
All right.
That's why I'm interested. All right? Guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys watch this season of The Ultimate Fighter. Make sure that you guys tune in so they might ask Chael and I to come back. And if they do, make sure no one of them pay us. All right, Chael, come on, let's do a face-off. No hands up. Okay. Yeah, no hands up. It's just a little too far. Smell it, Chael. Yeah. That's Old Spice. My brother. Yeah. No, you do not wear Old Spice. The deodorant. Yes, the deodorant. I thought you had on that cologne. My wife just got it. Thanks, guys. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
What's up, bro? Just let everybody know who you are and where you fight out of.
What's happening, guys? So my name is Andreas Spinder. I'm from Romania, but I'm fighting out of Ireland, out of SPG Charlestown in Dublin.
How did you end up in Ireland?
Long story. I was in. I'm originally from Romania, so I came here when I was 7 years of age. Moved into Galway, down the west, and then I was just wanted more bodies and stuff like that, my man. So I moved up to Dublin, and look, the rest is history.
Awesome. How excited are you to be competing on the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I'm super, super excited. It was a long, long time coming, but the opportunity's finally here for me, and my performances speak for themselves. And look, it was only a matter of time I got to this stage.
For anybody that has not seen you fight, can you describe your fight style for everybody?
Brutal, bloody, and we have a saying in our gym, Jesus loves knockouts, and I show it time and time again. You look at my finishes, you look at my fights, they're just brutal finishes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Obviously, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the ultimate fighter, but what are you hoping to gain from this experience?
This opportunity is life-changing for me. Like, I wish I was a full-time athlete, but I'm still balancing 40 hours a week in work. I'm still working full-time, waking up crazy hours of the morning at 4:30 in the morning, working till 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then going home napping and back in training. And I repeat this 6 days a week, every single day. And then trying to balance, family life. I'm lucky enough I don't have kids yet, but that's the one thing. Once I can focus full-time on MMA and I'm a full-time athlete, then I can actually have a family. And it's just, this is the biggest stage and the biggest opportunity of my life, and I'm going to take it with both hands, and whoever gets in my way, I'll have to go through them.
So you got to be grateful outside of the family, but your employer is allowing you to take time off away from this as well. I imagine the job will be there when you go back, but how was that discussion like, saying, hey guys, I have this dream, I want to do this? Were they just open to it?
Yeah, so I've been with the company. I'm working in Aldi. I'm a deputy manager, so I've been with them for 6 years. Do you know what I mean? But whatever I ask for them, it's kind of works both ways. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, kind of way. It's whenever they need me for something, I never said no. I helped them. And then whenever I ask this, and that's the thing with them, the work-life balance outside is just, they really kind of push you to pursue your career and your dreams, and they've not been great for me, and it's just, I'm grateful for everything in life.
And you're going to have the potential to train with coaches like Chael or DC. That's got to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and how do you envision their coaches' styles being a little bit different?
Yeah, it's insane. I remember just watching them growing up, and before all the Conor era and the young up and Irish coming fighters back then, and seeing them on TV, I was like, one this day I'm going to be on that stage, and getting coached by them, it's a privilege, it's an honor. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. I'm looking forward to it.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Perfect. Thank you very much. Perfect.
First off, just start with telling us your name and where you're from.
I'm Diego Bianchini. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil.
How excited are you to be a part of the Ultimate Fighter?
Man, I've been preparing for this moment for a long time, man. Since when I was a kid, I've been waiting for this moment and I'm ready to put on the show. I'm ready to show the new generation of technical skills. I'm move different, man. I'm striking different. I'm a nerd from this game. You guys gonna see a high level, a different animal in that cage. So it's amazing to be part of this season, this amazing season.
For people who have not seen you fight before, tell us about your style.
My style, like I said, I'm a non-orthodox style. You know, I move different. I strike different. I studied this game more than everybody. You know, nobody studied this game more than me. So me and my team, the Fighting Nerds, we are working a lot. My friend Kyle Bohalio helps me a lot. He's my main sparring. We training a lot together, and you guys gonna see something that you never saw.
Obviously, you have two amazing coaches with Daniil Cormier and Chael Sonnen. What do you think their coaching styles will be?
My nickname, I'm the Brazilian bad boy. Bad boys walk with bad boys. So, but I don't know if I go to the team of Cormier. Okay, let's go. He's amazing. He's a legend of the sport. True legend of the sport. But I'm a bad boy. I'm the Brazilian bad boy. You know, guys, who the Brazilian bad boy want to be?
Who will do better in the coaches challenge, Daniil or Chael?
Who is the better in
the coaches challenge? They have to do a challenge.
We'll see. We'll see. It depends what style is the challenger. You know. We'll see. I don't know.
Thank you.
If you could first, if you could state your name, where you're fighting from, and what weight class you're competing in.
Go Birds. Primero de todo, tu nombre, de cuál es la división de peso y de dónde vienes, por dónde estás peleando.
Mi nombre es Alejandro Sánchez Verdín, soy nacido en Jalisco, México, creado en San Luis Río Colorado, estoy peleando en la división de welter.
Alejandro Sanchez Verdín, from Jalisco originally, Coronado training, and then he's a welterweight.
You know, here you are getting ready to go into the Ultimate Fighter House. What is this experience, and what are you hoping to get out of this?
Acá estás en TUF. ¿Cómo es esta experiencia para usted y qué esperas de eso? O sea, ¿qué esperas sacar de la experiencia de estar en TUF?
Sí, creo que sin duda alguna el mejor reality show del mundo. Muy contento por esta gran oportunidad. Tenía tiempo buscando una oportunidad grande como esta y ahora que se presentó estoy seguro de que voy a darlo todo y voy a salir victorioso.
I'm very excited about TUF. This is the best reality show there is. Been looking for that opportunity for quite some time. And now that I've got it, I think I'm very sure that I'm going to get the most out of it. I'm going to give my all.
Is this a show that you've been watching for quite some time? And, you know, a lot of people now have looked at the Contender Series, but the Ultimate Fighter was the one that started it all. Has this been a show that you've watched since you were young? And what does it mean to get a chance to compete on it?
Este es un show que has visto hace mucho tiempo, porque obviamente todos hablan de Contender, ¿no? Porque llegó a un nivel de éxito importante, pero el TUF él es original, ¿no? Es que de dónde viene todo, incluso el UFC. Y es un show que has visto las ediciones anteriores. ¿Y qué opinas del show de una manera general, de estar en esto?
Sí, creo que el ganar el TUF, no he tenido la oportunidad de estar en Contender, pero estar dentro del TUF siento que es psicológicamente y mentalmente, porque cuando vas para Contender Series es solo presentarte como una pelea más y pelear. Ahora no, ahora es algo totalmente diferente, es estar en una casa encerrado, sin comunicación, sin todo lo que uno ya sabe, entonces pues mentalmente también tienes que estar fuerte y más que son dos peleas en poco tiempo, así que no, o sea, Contender Series no lo desmerito, pero siento que ganar el TUF es un legado que a mí me encantaría dejar para mi raza mexicana y no sé si algún mexicano más haya ganado el TUF, pero me gustaría ser el primero si no es que no lo hay.
You know, TUF is different than the Contender Series because if you're talking about not just the physical aspect, you're talking about the mental aspect. When you go into Contender Series, you're actually going for a fight. You prepare like it was a regular fight. You do your it's you know, do your job in presentation in the fighting capacity. When you are in TUF, there is a mental aspect and besides the physical aspect and psychologically, because you're there, you're in the house, you're living with people, and then there's also the fact there's two fights in very, very short period of time. So there's that I'm not diminishing the importance of Contender Series at all, but I think there's a very important thing. I don't know if any Mexicans have actually come to this point and have won TUF, but I want it to be, I think it would be very important for us, for the Mexican people, to have another representative of the UFC coming from TUF and winning it.
And you're getting the opportunity to train with one of two potential coaches that have a great storied career. You know, what do you think about the differences of the coaching styles of Chael and DC and how they might be different? And what does it mean to get to train with one of these two?
Sé que obviamente no eligieron todavía los equipos, pero vas a tener la oportunidad de estar en un equipo o con DC o con Chael Sonnen. O sea, ¿cómo es la oportunidad de pelear, de estar ahí, ser entrenado por esas leyendas tan importantes del deporte?
Sí, para mí son dos entrenadores que se respetan mucho. La verdad, los dos cuentan con un historial como entrenadores y como peleadores, que para mí el que me elija estoy muy agradecido. La verdad no tengo preferencia. Yo vengo a hacer mi trabajo, lo que sí vengo es a demostrar que estoy trabajando muy duro para poder lograr este objetivo. Estaba buscando tanto esta oportunidad, así que solamente estoy enfocado en ganar estas peleas y ser el próximo peleador de UFC mexicano. Y pues yo sé que cada quien aquí en la casa son varios atletas, todos tienen su motivo. Yo en lo personal ahorita lo estoy haciendo por un familiar muy cercano, mi sobrino que falleció de 10 años, y eso me da un impulso más y una causa más para seguir adelante y lograr ese propósito que tanto me quiso mirar dentro de UFC.
So, para dejar claro y para honorar a tu sobrino, 10 años tenía de edad.
10 años.
Perfecto. Mis condolencias.
Sí.
So, going back to this, so that you know, towards the end here, it was mentioned that everyone has their reason to fight on TUF. I have a personal reason. I have a 10-year-old nephew that passed away, and I wanted to actually honor his memory in fighting. As far as the coaches, that these are two coaches that respect each other a lot. I mean, we know that they have that respect for each other. You know what the path that they had in the sport, both as coaches and both as athletes and coaches. So to either of them to be in the team, I'll be very grateful for the opportunity to actually to be able to actually do that. I'm here to train, to learn, to be, again, another representative of Mexico in the sport and to win this contract and actually to be the next Ultimate Fighter. So regardless of which one it is, I'll be very happy. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And then we tagged on to the memory of a nephew, a 10-year-old nephew that passed away, and that's what I'm fighting for. Everybody has their reason, but this is the one that I have.
First, I want to say sorry for the loss of your nephew. That's very, very tough. You've trained primarily out of from what I'm seeing, the UFC Performance Institute down in Mexico City. What has that meant to Mexico City, having the PI down there, and how has that made this potential opportunity of reality for you?
Primero de todo, los sentimientos por tu sobrino. Hablamos un poco de entrenamiento. Has entrenado mucho desde el PI de Ciudad México. O sea, ¿cómo ha sido esa experiencia de entrenar ahí, de ser un representante de la gente que viene del PI México que abrió recién?
Sí, primero que nada, eso le quiero dar muchas gracias a Ana White por haber hecho esa jugada de abrir un Performance Institute en Ciudad de México. A mí como mexicano me da mucha felicidad de que sea en México, pero el deporte no solamente va a crecer en México, va a crecer en toda Latinoamérica, ya que pues la verdad no, en México y en Latinoamérica no solamente te tienes que dedicar a entrenar, o trabajas, estudias y entrenas, y ahora con esto que hizo Dana White de abrir el performance, siento que va a cambiar las vidas de muchas personas como me la cambió a mí, que solamente tenía que preocuparme por entrenar, era lo único, y pues ahí en el PI estaban los mejores coaches, los mejores compañeros de equipo, la alta tecnología para hacer las pruebas y nada, muy contento por eso que pasó, y yo ser de la primera generación a mí me cambió la vida y ahora pues estoy a punto de cambiármela de nuevo. La verdad que Dios no deja de bendecirme mucho y pues nada, es una institución grandísima que cuenta con todo y la verdad que va a cambiar la vida de muchas personas en México y en Latinoamérica.
First of all, thank Dana White for this great play of actually opening the PI in Mexico, something that we're very grateful for. I think is going to change the game not only in Mexico but also in Latin America. To have that structure, to have all that for us was amazing. It changed my life. It gave me an opportunity to do things that I've never done before. When you're there, and I'm grateful to everybody there, the coaches, my training partners, everything. You have the best coaches, you have the best training partners, and all I had to worry about was to train and get better. That's all it is, and it was only possible because of the existence of the PI in Mexico. It's going to change the lives of many, just like it changed mine. I'm very grateful for it and grateful for the opportunity. It's going to be grateful for a new generation of fighters from Mexico and from Latin America, and I feel very proud that I'm from the first generation of people that come out of that PI.
Alejandro, aquí, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
Alejandro, en el primer listado del PI aparecías en 155 libras, ahora vas a peso welter. ¿Cuál sería la división en la que te podríamos ver? ¿Cuál es tu peso natural?
Mira, siendo sinceramente, yo en las dos me siento magníficamente. Tengo pues un par de cinturones ahí profesional en la 155 y también tengo peleas en la 170. Las dos se me acomodan perfectamente y para este reality me cayó me cayó súper bien porque no tengo que hacer tanto el bajar de peso. Ahora pues en este peso me siento increíble y pues ya estoy listo para ya nomás dar el show cuando me llamen.
Claro. Hablando de Ultimate Fighter, que es obviamente el referente de los deportes de combate en la televisión, ¿recuerdas alguna temporada? ¿Cuál fue la primera que viste? ¿Algún recuerdo que tengas del show?
Sí, he mirado varios. La verdad que ahorita me llamó mucho también la atención del de Conor con Chandler, de que todo puede pasar, ¿no? De cómo cambiaron las cosas dentro de la casa. También me tocó ver el de Alexa contra Shevchenko. Me hice la tarea para que no me agarraran desprevenido. Así que la verdad que todos los TUF son magníficos y a mí me tocó el número 20, que es a cargo de DC y Chael Sonnen, que son unas leyendas para mí. Y pues tener ahora la oportunidad de aprender de ellos es grandioso, la verdad.
Hace 10 años ver a un peleador mexicano en el UFC era raro, era complicado. Ahora el roster de UFC está con un buen número de peleadores de Latinoamérica. ¿Crees que había más presión antes que no habían peleadores latinos o ahora que el roster tiene más peleadores latinos?
Siento que lo difícil es de que van a seguir llegando porque están saliendo talentos de todos lados. Pero lo difícil es mantenerse dentro de UFC. UFC es el más alto nivel para todos los peleadores y por eso es que pues quiero pertenecer a la empresa y quiero estar ahí, quiero darles de qué hablar, de que ser la próxima estrella mexicana en ascenso. Te digo, lo difícil es mantenerse. Los que cualquiera puede llegar a UFC, a lo mejor por algún corto aviso o por alguna situación, pero el chiste es mantenerse y eso es lo que yo estoy buscando cuando debute en UFC, ser un peleador largo en la empresa.
Last question for me. Alejandro, vieron tus notas, también veo que vienes de una familia humilde, que estuviste en el campo también un tiempo. Cuéntame acerca de esa lucha, ¿no? Obviamente estar en este país, de pelear por un sueño y que ahora estás cumpliendo el sueño y que, como dices, es difícil llegar y más complicado será mantenerse.
Sí, pues mira, en mi caso yo comencé a los 21 años como en mi carrera profesional. La gente primero decía que pues a lo mejor no alcanzaba a lograr nada y mírame, ahora estoy en el mejor escenario del mundo. Así que para competir el reality, así que yo creo que el trabajar como mexicano y cruzar a la frontera a trabajar a Estados Unidos, pues la verdad, toda mi gente mexicana y no nomás de México, de Latinoamérica que se está en Estados Unidos buscando el sueño, es difícil la verdad, pero es parte del sacrificio porque pues lo que ganas en un día ya es lo que vienes ganando casi en la semana en México. Entonces a mí me tocó trabajar en el campo cortando lechuga y pues no tengo opción, tengo que salir y ganar este reality show porque si no pues me voy a tener que regresar allá a trabajar al campo.